People seem to think that because false dichotomies exist, every dichotomy is a false dichotomy. This is incorrect. There are, in fact, true dichotomies.
Sheep go to heaven, goats go to hell.
Take this quarter, for example. If I were to flip this quarter, this is a regular quarter. It's got a heads on one side and a tails on the other. If I were to flip this quarter, if it were to land properly, it would land either heads up or tails up. There's a slight chance that it'll land on its edge, but the point is I'm talking about if it lands correctly. It's going to land either heads up or tails up. There's no other option. That is a true dichotomy. That is what a true dichotomy is. Given certain circumstances, something can either be one way or the other. Now, for atheism and theism, the coin analogy doesn't quite hold true because there are certain conditions that have to be met. So I'm going to use something else as an analogy. This is edible. This is inedible. For those of you who don't know, this is a Reese's miniature, and this is just a quartz river rock. Now you could say, well, this could be edible. You could crush it up into little pieces and swallow it, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this as it is inedible. I can't bite this. If I were to bite this, I'd probably break my teeth. And it's way too big to swallow whole. This, on the other hand, you could say, well, it is inedible, it's in a wrapper, but that's not what I'm talking about either. Obviously, you unwrap it before you eat it. That is what we mean when we say that this is edible and this is inedible. And this is a direct correlation between theist and atheist. Edible means that something can be consumed. It may or may not be nutritious. It may or may not be good for you to consume, but you can consume it. Inedible means that it cannot be consumed in the form that it is. There's no possible way for you to consume it. The root word is edible, and in is the qualifier for edible. It is the equivalent of the A in atheist. It means not, in other words. It means not edible. Whereas A means not a theist. And there is no middle ground. Something is either edible or it is not. Whether it can be consumed or cannot be consumed, there is no halfway point. And so in that sense, there is no halfway point between atheism and theism. Agnosticism covers a completely different area. It covers whether there is knowledge of God's existence or not. I am agnostic, as are most atheists. Pretty much every atheist that I've ever talked to is an agnostic atheist. They don't know whether God exists or not, but they don't have a belief in that God, because in order to have belief in that God, they would, by their standards, have to know something about that God in order to know whether it exists or not. The same thing is true of agnostic, which means that the concept of God is so ill-defined that you can't say whether you believe in it or not. But if you don't know what something is, then how can you believe in it? Therefore, you don't believe in it, therefore you're an atheist. So even if you're agnostic, you're still an atheist. If you're agnostic, you can be an agnostic theist, but many people who say they're agnostic and refuse to call themselves atheists are actually atheists. They misunderstand what the position of atheism is. Atheism is not a flat-out denial that any gods exist. That's we don't know enough about the universe to say that one way or the other. And every atheist that I've ever talked to freely admits that. That's not the atheist position, although I know there are some atheists that do flat out deny the existence of God. I consider that to be a faith position, which is something that I'm against. But, they do exist, but that's not the atheist position. Atheism is simply the lack of belief in a God. Now that I've got that out of the way, I'd like to take a moment to talk directly to Kate, Bionic Dance. I don't know if I can call her Kate or not. I don't really know her that well. I've only made a few comments on her channel. But anyway, Kate, if I may call you that, I totally understand your anger. And the anger comes from two places. It's the idea that there are people that aren't willing to stand up for the cause of atheism. And the second idea, and this is the one that gets to me, I don't know if it gets to you or not, it's that people are misrepresenting the atheist idea. They are saying that we actively believe in no gods when that's not the position that we hold at all, and that really frustrates me. That really frustrates me because it's kind of like them telling us that we have a faith position when faith is something that we are totally against. So I understand that anger, but having said that, anger and being, just being kind of in your face and insulting people, and that's probably not your intent, but that's what you come across as. That's really not the way to win over hearts and minds. It just isn't. So, and I mean, I still love you. You're still one of my favorite YouTubers. I've thumbed up every single video that I've seen on this subject of yours. But I just wanted to say that that I think maybe before making a video you need to sort of calm down and look at it a little differently. Now I know you say that, whenever somebody can prove you wrong, you will admit it. And you're right on the issue of atheist versus theist and agnostic not being a middle ground. You're absolutely right about that, and I think you're looking at that and saying, I'm right in this position, and therefore I'm right. The problem is you're wrong in how you're going about it, and I hope that you can reflect on yourself and look and see whether you're going about this the right way, and hopefully you can change your methods, I hope. But anyway, I really love your videos. Like you always say, don't run on an automatic, think. And I hope that maybe you can start to understand where some of the other people are coming from, even though they may be wrong in one aspect. I think that they may be right in another. So I hope you watch this, and I hope you're doing good, and I hope you make more videos. I do want to say that I liked the last couple of videos you made, the Zaga Waga, I think it was called, whatever. That one was pretty good. The other one was I don't remember what it was called, but you were very calm, you were very polite, and you seemed very cool and collected in that one. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see more from you. So that's all I've got to say. I'll talk to you later. Bye.